Let me tell you how I literally had to delete Lyft because my Lyft driver literally texted the person that ordered my Lyft and said, "Yeah, King, keep your head up. She's not the one." Yes, you heard it right. So y'all, I get in my Lyft or whatever. You know, sometimes they be like, "Oh, how you doing? How your day going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's not going good." Mind y'all, it's about like 10 o'clock, 11, right? So a dude just ordered me an Uber because he wants me to come over, hang out, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I really don't want to go because I really don't like him, but I don't know how to express to him that I don't like him because he's so sweet. So the Uber driver is confiding in me. He's like, "Yeah, just talk to me. Let me know like what you don't like about him. See if I can help you out with it." I'm thinking that we have a brother and sister moment going on. Nah. Me not knowing he's a short king as well. You get what I'm saying? The person I'm talking to is a short king. You're not really my type. You're not buff. You don't no, I don't want it. So yeah, I'm sitting there talking to the Uber driver or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So
Just, we got to acknowledge the fact that you're going to the destination to meet the guy that you're claiming that you don't want. Why don't you just tell him that? Why do you have to go there? Let's keep listening.
so while I'm texting him, I'm telling the Uber driver, like, "Yeah, I just don't like him. I just don't see a future. He really likes me," stuff like this. I'm telling him what's going on. I'm explaining to him how I don't like him. He trying to give me solutions. Nothing's gonna work. A plus B is not going to go Y into Z. No. So yeah, at this point we're gonna close to our destination, right? So I'm texting bro, but bro's slowly texting me like slow now. Like I'm telling him like, "Oh, okay, I'm finna be 5 minutes away." He's all right, let me know. Mind y'all, minutes before that, he was just saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see you. It's been so long. I missed you. Whoop, whoop, whoop." Now, y'all, it's mad cold outside. Keep that in mind, okay? So now I'm pulling up,
Right.
and the Uber driver just like, "Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good time, and I hope you at least let him know." He keeps saying that, like, "Oh, yeah, I hope you let him know. Give him signs at least. Don't waste his time." Y'all, why did I get outside the car? And I'm standing outside this man's house for 10 minutes, and he's telling me, "Nah, the Uber driver already let me know game, so call your Uber back home." You didn't even have the decency to call me one back?
Beautiful. 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 Beautiful story. Wow.
So now I'm sitting here standing stupid. I'm like, "What you talking about?" I'm like, what I do? What I do? He like, "Yeah, the Uber driver already told me we good. You don't like me because I'm short. I'm this." I said, the Uber driver never answered me when I'm texting him, telling him I'm down the street after I done lied and said I was on Hoover and this and that. What? Yeah, you get a 0-star rating from me. Okay?
Beautiful. Wow. Wow. It seems like now more than ever, and honestly, I attribute this to a lot of male platforms. Now more than ever, men are looking out for each other. I think at one point it was only the chicks who did stuff like this. Would have probably in the past let him learn the hard way, and now it's kind of like, let me look out for the guy. And if he was like an older gentleman, he probably looked at her and said, she's only going to be trouble for him. You go in there to do what? To enjoy the attention, to enjoy the validation. You said, I think she said there's nothing he could have told her to convince him.
He's a short king as well. You get what I'm saying? The person I'm talking to is a short king. You're not really my type. You're not buff. You don't, no, I don't want it. So yeah, I'm sitting there talking to the Uber driver.
She doesn't want it. There's nothing he could have said to get her to want it. So she was going there for attention, validation, to waste time. He was going to spend some money on her. She loved the fact that he was saying, "I miss you so much." They love the attention, but he peeped that. And shout out to that. I think more men need to look out for each other like this because chicks actually do this. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, "Girl, not you telling that type of business to a stranger." Somebody else here says, "Girl, he was not a Lyft driver. That was his homeboy." That would be funny as hell. But of course, that can't be true because she used the app to get the car. Somebody else here added, "Lyft driver was the real MVP." That's facts. Exactly. He needed to be bent over to what? Here's somebody else who says, "What was you even going for? Attention, validation, wasting time, leading on, all the things that, like, when a man does it, women will get on camera and be like, 'Men are just so evil. How did they do this?'" If you have a man who you know right now, two categories. He wants you, but you are friends, right? That's my friend. Well, what if you propose that you guys sleep together. Well, I know he would take it. You're doing this. You know what he actually wants. You're doing this. You're leading him on because he's staying there for the hope that one day you might entertain something romantic, right? And sexual. Or if you're just out here playing out, going on dates with dudes just because. Another comment here says, he was that man's guardian angel. This next comment here says, whole time Lyft driver was on the phone with him. Another person here added, I'll never understand giving people your time who you just don't like. This is something that I think, if I'm going to be really honest with you, both men and women do. Men will do that if they don't see any potential for like a long lasting relationship. A lot of guys in general will do that just so they could sleep with a woman, right? And will feed them sweet lies. And women happen to really like sweet lies, right? They don't like that.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
They don't like that coffee, but they love those sweet lies. Or women will feed the possibility. They know what that man wants, but the possibility of one of these days we may be something, just for a guy to give him attention, validation, so on and so forth. I just did a video about that, man. This chick who was crying because her best friend for so many years cut her off after he got into a healthy relationship. She was devastated, couldn't believe it. Somebody else here added, you remind me of Juju telling your story. Somebody else here says, he was trying to earn that tip. Another thing, man, because people hear me say that chicks do this naturally as far as like looking out for each other. The amount of videos I've seen online of a woman in an airport, for example, and she would say something like, hey, Cindy, if your husband's name is Mark, I just want to let you know he's planning on cheating on you in Cancun. I heard him talking to his friends. They will get online just to snitch, to look out for women who they don't know at all. All the time. The only time I've actually seen a man get close to that, actually, I've seen it like maybe a few times, but recently was this guy. He did this because there were wives who were cheating on a girl's trip. He says, my future wife is never going on a girl's trip because y'all are a bunch of cheaters. Check it out.
My future wife is never going on a girl's trip to Nashville because y'all are a bunch of cheaters. Y'all cheat. If you were from Iowa and you sent your wives on a girl's trip and they're resource officers at a high school, they're cheaters. Now let me tell you a story. So I'm in Nashville. I was playing Whiskey Jam, played the guitar, and we're out on Broadway with some of our friends, and we're at Kid Rock's. I hope you guys see this. You guys are a bunch of cheaters. And so this girl comes walking over and she's like trying to dance with my friends, and they point to me. They're like, that's the guy that'll dance, because I love to dance. I love to just have a good time. And so I'm like, yeah, sure. So we're just kind of vibing. And she like grabbed my hand, and I see she's got a ring on. And so I'm like, whoa, you got a ring on. She goes, don't worry about it. And I said, what? Yes.
Don't worry about it is like keeping the ring on is like you enjoy cheating with your ring on, right? Like some kink stuff. Like you get some satisfaction from that, which is crazy.
So I'm going to worry about it. That's what? And so she's like, it doesn't even matter. He's not here. I'm like, whoa, lady, you're psycho. You're literally a psychopath. Hang on. I have well, I shouldn't put the video in. I have a video of her hitting up other dudes. And so after they like danced, and after they came up to us, and they were telling those guys how they don't even care that they're married. And they're just like, we're here for the weekend. Like, if my husband was here, he wouldn't even do anything about it, because he's I don't think I should say this on TikTok. He's like a PUSSY kind of, he wouldn't even do anything about it. So one of the other girls goes up to a guy that I was friends with and was like, let's just get a hotel room tonight. Like, it's only like $100, get a room, blah, blah, blah. She didn't have a ring on. Her friend comes over and goes, she's married, and she took her ring off before she came out, by the way. And so I texted him, because they were like walking over to Cane's. I'm like, bro. And so he lit up. He was so mad, and like kicked him out. Like, we ditched him, blah, blah, blah. The saddest thing is it was so easy for them to do. They don't know us. They have no idea who we are. They came up to us, initiated it. And like it. You could tell it wasn't their first time. First of all, it was way too easy for them for that to be their first time ever trying to get with people on a girls trip. That there's probably dudes out there that would do it. And I know you guys are cheaters. Listen, if you sent your wife on a girls trip and they're resource officers at a high school, they're a cheater. I have a video of them hitting on some guys. I just don't think I should post it.
Listen, this right here, this story you just heard, is the version of the guy who didn't do it. We're going to, assuming that he's telling the truth, we're going to believe him, right? This is the version. This is what happens when a guy says no. But how many dudes out there are actually saying no? And they're not going to come out here and tell the story like, yeah, you know, these chicks were cheating and we found out they were married and, you know, it was whatever, but we just want to let you know that your wife's out here cheating. Let's check out some of these comments. Top comment here says, y'all males are literally just as bad, if not worse. There goes the accountability and the change of subject of who we're talking about here. It wasn't that fast. The top comment, you guys are worse. F you, Steph. Let's go see what Steph is about. Steph, this is probably a chick who
My future wife is never going
participates in all this. Somebody else who says, okay, but we're in Iowa. Iowa here, I'm invested.